I'm Nana Farika. The time has come for the lioness to tell her story from her viewpoint and tell the world who Queen Omega is. This is the lion's voice.
The time has come for the lioness to tell her own story.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice. Well, Haile Selassie the first of the Almighty, and this is the chance match Kwasi, and the mission, that's the restoration of the black family. Yeah. Who Jah bless me, say no one curse. Black woman, it's time to merge. Black redemption, we're on the verge. Well, I don't care what you heard. Haile Selassie first, him no second or third. Cause even when their lines are blurred, the eyes stand straight, no bend, no curve. And him give you the love you deserve. Him don't come fi dominate, him come fi serve. Showed us the way home, I live his words. But I can't do it alone, so black woman, let's merge. High tall, sip and herbs, we merge. Massage fi calm her nerves, we merge. Together all demon purge, we merge. Another family emerge, we merge. We spoke and no speech was slurred, we merge. We agreed that Babylon's absurd, we merge. We had pain, now we feel cured, we merge. Hail the king, now she conquered. Well, I don't care what you heard. Haile Selassie first, him no second or third. Cause even when their lines are blurred, the eyes stand straight, no bend, no curve. Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of his chosen queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka the Chazmach Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man. I'm a creative industry attorney, I'm an artist, I'm an author, I'm an actionist, but right now I am the host of Lion Talk Live. Welcome to the Lion Voice Network, and welcome to Lion Talk Live, where we bring frontline workers in the Pan-African and Rastafari movement globally, and we find out their story. The time has come for the lions and the lionesses to tell our own story. There's so much confusion out there in the world today. Wars, rumors of wars, we have earthquake, all kind of events, uprising, upheaval. It's so important that Rastafari control our narrative in these times. It's so important that we ensure that we capture our story in a way that is befitting of the dignity of those who sacrifice their life to see us prosper. Anywhere you go in the world now, you'll see red, gold, and green. Anywhere you go in the world now, Rastafari gets that respect. We're seeing the global success of the Bob Marley One Love movie, and we know there's no Bob Marley without Rastafari. A lot of that accolade, a lot of that mission, that glow that our brother Bob Marley had was because of Rastafari, and it's just showing us a small slice of the power if we really buckle down and come together. The potential. I have to tell the family tonight I have such a special guest. This one is so wonderful to I. This guest is like a mother to so many. My Rastafari family in Jamaica will immediately recognize the voice, the face. She's a pillar in the Rastafari community in Jamaica. When it come on to ITAL, chefins, a master chef, business owner, someone who has seen so much, lived so much in the Rastafari trad. She has been a guide to I. She has strengthened I with the Jamaica Music Conference. I don't even have to ask. She will just come and give I and I strength over the years, strength to I and I family, and this is just the love that this elder possesses, is really remarkable, and I'm honored that the Lion Voice Network is able to share. Now, I'm going to tell the family in advance her throat is not feeling very well, so I don't know how long we're going to be able to do the interview. This is a special treat and gem. Me I give the item tonight. Me I tell the item. So we're just gonna go as far as we can. When she's ready to seal up, we'll just seal up, and then maybe we'll take some additional questions. We can keep the live going. The item can determine how you want to run the rest of the live. However, tonight is my great honor to welcome to the Lion Voice the Queen, Mama Yvonne Hope. Welcome to the Lion Voice.
Greetings in the name of Rastafari. One life.
Yes. It's really a joy. We're going to get right to it. Where were you born and what was your journey to Rastafari?
I was born in Kingston, went to school in Kingston, grew up in the 60s, late 50s, 60s. So, trotting through Black Power, Rastafari, and then evolved from Black Power into Rastafari because at the time that had no spirituality. The whole Black Power movement
Black Power
was more materialistic, and Rastafari was a way of life for me at that time.
Wow.
Until now.
What in terms of Kingston, were you part of the working class, middle class, upper class? How would you characterize your upbringing?
Well, I would say middle class. Yes.
And the reason that I ask you that, because I know how Jamaica society looks at Rastafari.
At the time, we was a group of young people going to high school, trying want to make a change in Jamaica. At the time, you would never see a dark-skinned person in a bank. Everybody here was all processed, and we want to make that change from high school.
Wow.
So at that time, we'd go around to high schools, talk to young students like ourselves, and show them that a better way out. And from that whole evolvement into the strengthening within Rastafari. So we would start going to meetings. We started out going to like 12 Ethiopian World Federation.
Yes.
Then we evolved from the Ethiopian World Federation into 12 tribe and then Nyabingi.
Okay.
We was a radical young people at the time. We don't take no chat.
Okay. And how did your parents at that time look at
run us from the house?
Okay. So you were not you had to leave home after a certain point.
Yes, because they see us start changes. They see us start processing here. They see us reading more books about us as a people, Black people. They never liked that. A lot of those books was banned at the time by Hugh Shearer, the Prime Minister at the time. And it was just hard. And we had to seek out knowledge everywhere. We'd travel all over the island seeking information on Africa and Rastafari.
What year are we talking
about?
All
young people.
Yes. What year were we talking about, and how old
Like
were you?
69, 70,
And how
around that
old were you?
period.
How old was the
Young
I?
was young, 15, 16,
Wow.
but we want to make a change.
Because we're
When
gonna
they
talk.
had
Yeah, we're gonna.
water
Oh,
riot, would get
okay.
involved and think as young people, we were the change maker.
Do you think that vibration is in Jamaica today? Do you see that anywhere? Young people, 15, 16, saying Black Power, trying to shift the culture like that?
No, it might be there, but it's not that visible.
Okay. Were you all visible in your time?
Of course, we was the young people of Kingston at the time. I remember at one time when my parents tell us to leave, we rented a house and a lot of sistering would come in and brethren as well. And it's just Rastafari would be chanting. And every time a parent run a child out, they would find my house, excuse me, and would just live Rastafari. It was just
Where where
idle.
where was that house? What part of Kingston?
Up in Redis.
Yeah, take your time. We give thanks. We're gonna take our time. If you need to drink anything, you need to rest your thing, just let us know. Because this is so fascinating. Um, you are well known that the I was one of the sisters that um, you know was holding the levity. Who were some of your contemporaries that we would know?
We had Dennis Salmon. A lot of them migrated, a lot of them all around the place. We had Pauline, um, and Dambe. A couple of them, Lorna Wainwright, a couple of the sisters, yes.
Okay. And
Most of them changed, a lot of them gone a different way, but I'm one of those sisters that's still standing.
still standing. How were you dressing as a young sister at this time? What was the
So
dress
you
code?
see, we used to wear a lot of long skirts, tie up our head. We was a militant one in Kingston when we trot downtown or anywhere. The brethren them say, you see those sister, be careful. Them will burn you out. And we would be on street corner reasoning and showing other young people the light of Rastafari.
So definitely I can say I don't see that in Jamaica. I don't see young people doing that right now in Jamaica at all.
Not true. It might happen, but I have not seen it.
And you live there. Worse I man come in and out, but you live there and you're
Yeah,
not
I have
seeing
not
it.
seen it.
So talk to us. The I Kingman was Muta Baruch at one time. How did you meet the great Muta Baruch?
Or how did the great Muta or Muta meet the great Yvonne?
How the forgive I.
Wait, let me take some.
Yes. Forgive I. I rephrase it.
Well, yes, he was saying, Muta meet the great sister Yvonne.
Yes.
We met through mutual friends when we were in high school, and we both was studying militant young people. As I say, want to change. And we both went into federation together, 12 tribe, and we was just trotting through.
Okay.
Yeah, we met through party at the time when we high school going party, that kind of thing. And
Okay.
then that whole evolvement
Give thanks.
evolved from that to serious business.
Yes. You're one of the prominent Rastafari couples in that time.
Yes, at that time. Yeah.
Yes, and because that's another thing that we want to reason about is just in terms of our young people today, not seeing that those examples, you know,
Family.
that you can look up and see Rastafari couples trotting militantly every, you
Yeah.
know, every day. It seemed like a
Remember, we just, at that time, we would just trot all over Kingston, Jamaica with my daughter. At, after I have my child, Aisha,
okay.
people would
I
just look at us
big up
and
I
say,
uh
yes, people would just look up on us and say, oh gosh, look how they have the little baby girl. Locks up her hair and with shredding all the bingy, every bingy would be there.
Wow.
When we go to Bingy and the outer school would start, I started that initiative where we'd have the children who is not in school. We have school at the Bingy and teach them while they are out for a couple of days.
Okay. Was that something that with Sister Ascali, was she a part of that initiative from the UK? She live in the UK.
As Scarlet, no, I don't remember. It's probably
Okay.
before her time. I don't
Yes, yes,
remember.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
So education has always been important to the eye.
Yes, to within, yes, because my children are doing good and doing good.
Yes, yes. Um, I'm trying to figure out what was so different that made all of these children, young children, teenagers, gravitate to Rastafari that we don't have right now. What do you think? What were the environmental factors? Was it the Black Power movement in America? Was it, you know, Dr. Walter Rodney? What were some of the
Was a
factors
whole
that?
combination. It was a whole combination of change. We had that was part of it. We had socialism, um, Black Power. People were, our generation was a generation of change, and we wanted to see things change. So we, as young people, saw what was happening, and we start to make a move on that change.
Okay. And what was the reception of law enforcement to Rastafari sisters? Were
Hello.
you harassed by law
Oh
enforcement?
Lord, yeah. I went to police. I got locked up twice. They
Oh,
locked me up in jail twice myself with Victor.
wow,
Went to Nyabingi and police came to one Nyabingi, I remember, and beat up the rest of my brethren. And well, the brethren them had to run into river, jump in river,
wow,
run from police because I was cutting off Rasta here.
wow,
And that traumatized Aisha for years
wow,
because they kick out our clothes. We had a clothing bag. Police came and just kicked them over, beat up the brethren and bust up their mouth. It was horrible. I
um,
remember at one time going on a bus and the police, the bus driver didn't want us on the bus because he said no Rasta.
wow,
And we had to come off of the bus. And it's a lot we have gone through. Police would come to our house and raid in the 70s and say we had gun. And we said, gun, we're coming from a Rasta meeting and we don't deal with that. And then kick us off. It's a lot of things.
wow. One
We
of
have
the
come a
things,
long way.
yes, one of the things I want to do with Ras Marcos and the other attorneys is get some affidavits because we need to record these things, the eyewitness testimony of your generation, because
Mhm,
Jamaica need to pay some reparation for these atrocities, because that trauma, we know how trauma works from generation to
mhm,
generation.
mhm,
We know how many youths didn't go to school for fear of persecution, that impact your earning potential, that impact the community development, because people had to go underground. There's so many detrimental impacts because of the aggression of the state. upon Rastafari, and yet still we're here prevailing. What is your assessment of the movement today?
Well, it's sad and I'm happy at the same time. We've come a long way, and but when I see how some of the youths behave, how some of the youths behave, how they speak to the elders, um, it's sad, but we are also come a long way. It's very sad sometimes.
Yes, yes. Can you adjust a little bit because I'm not seeing your face there. Yes, yes, that's better.
Mhm.
Yes, beautiful. So, give us some examples of some of the things that you see young people doing that you would never have seen in your time in Rastafari.
How they speak to their parents, how
Wow.
they speak to the elders, how the clothes they wear, some of the young men.
Yes.
Just
Hanging their pants off of them body. Eh?
it's
Yeah.
sad. And said a Rasta.
Say they're
Um,
Rastafari.
at
Yes.
the time, we never used to see a lot of Rasta like smoke cigarette,
Wow.
young, drink liquor. Sometimes you see some Rasta youth have them boom and them white rum, and you say, oh, they are alcoholics.
Yes. It's very prevalent now. Hennessy.
Yes, yes.
you know them gone to right now. So yes, I see these things too, and this is why I wanted you to come on to paint a picture, because sometimes you don't know what you have lost, you don't know what you're coming from. What were or who were some of the leaders of that time when you were coming up? I know there was Prophet Gad was
I
there.
have Bongo Tony.
Bongo
You had
time, yes. Bongo
Puru,
time,
Bongo
Bongo
Puru,
Puru, yes, yes.
Bongo Time. July was young at the time as well. Um,
Do you know our elder
and I
Nana
have
Faraika?
the
You know Nana
yes,
Faraika? Yes.
yeah. The first time I went to Nabingi, I went with Faraiko.
Okay, okay.
They
That's
had
one of
this.
my teacher. That's one of my key teacher. She's in Jamaica right now, as a matter of fact. Yes,
Yes, the
yes.
first time we went to Nabingi, they had this big car, and we all drove down to Robbins Bay, I think the bingy was.
Uh-huh.
Yes, with her.
Wow, wow,
Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful eyes to moment.
yes. But
And what? Sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what was that impression when you first heard those Nyabingi drums and the chanting?
It
How
was
did,
different because growing up in Kingston and 12 tribe was more acceptable for us as young high school students. It more look closer to what we know. Going to a Nayabing and you see all these elder, these Rasta, it just was another time they wouldn't talk straight English, yicks and yeckles and yat, and you're trying to understand what they were saying, and you just sit down. Some of the elders would go and reason with them, like Queen Baby I, Bongo
yes,
Rocky,
yes.
and they would
Mama
explain
Bubbles,
to
Mama
us.
Bubbles.
Bubbles, Dr. Bubbles was there as well,
Yes, yes.
and but I was more closer to Queen Baby I,
Baby I, yes, yes.
and
I
I
met her
remember, uh,
no, I said I met her in Ethiopia when she was in Shashamani.
okay, I remember she would buy me African fabric to make my long skirt because she just loved me. She just take on to me. So she was one of the sisters that I was very close with as an
Yeah.
elder.
And we have to also hail Mashanti, who
Ma Shanti and Pa Shanti.
Papa Ashanti, yeah.
Yes.
Great, great
Yeah.
elders.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
and this is my concern, Mama Yvonne, because these elders are passing away. So this tradition that, I was blessed, I got the last little piece of it, But these
Okay.
youths coming up now, they're not gonna see these elders go. And the thing that was unique is that they actually lived together on a campsite. They were
Oh,
ostracized. So it really was that communal vibe,
yes,
because now
yes,
you go
yes.
to Naya Bingi, everybody live at them house. Them just come at the Bingi, and sometimes people treat it like it's a dance. Them come late, you know what I mean? Whereas those times the elders were seated.
Oh, yes, 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 definitely. And Bingy was Bingy. It was just joy to go to an Bingy. You just look forward for that old spiritual connection with Rastafari.
Yes, and you spoke about the Black Power not having that spirituality. Why was that so important to you as a militant Black Power youth?
It was, you needed something after a while. You need something more than just, I think Black Power is more materialistic. And we wanted to have a balance. And Rasta was that balance for me.
For you, for you. How did you navigate, that they were praising this man, this Ethiopian king? How, as a youth, how did you see Haile Selassie and Empress Mene, and how did you negotiate that within your irids?
By reading, we used to read a lot about the old dynasty. We just read, because we want to seek knowledge. And, we'd go to the library and then out of that read the Bible as well, and that whole involvement of out of the Bible into what other writers write about Ethiopia and His Majesty.
Yes, yes. So what was that moment that the light bulb, came on for you, that you say, okay, this is the man, this is the way of life? Do you remember that?
It's just a whole involvement. I was at school, I think, and just reasoning with other mates, schoolmates, and then we
Yeah.
just say, yes, look at this, look at that add up and is that. And
Is
we have to
that
try that way.
what high school did you go to?
St. Use.
St. Hughes. Okay, big up the
Mhm.
St. Hughes. That's an all girls school.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
So
So
were
we'd
there
have a
there were
lot of the girls would come down to Trenchtown, would go around, would go around to other school and try mobilize along with Carl Philpott. He was
yes,
instrumental in
Brother
getting a
Carl,
lot of young people together at the time.
one of my
Muta,
teachers again,
yes,
Brother Carl, Mama Valerie.
and Valerie. Valerie, we all would go to Valerie and Carl. Also about the same age, but would sit in and reason and just talk Rastafari.
Yes, powerful, powerful. Um, Over time, a lot of people, evolve their relationship with the Bible. Do you still look at the Bible as an important part of your chad?
It feel like it was there. It's a whole involvement. It's an involvement. Yes, yeah. Come to read it. That is one stepping stone. Other books. You
Mhm.
start read and get other books, other knowledge, other information, and you learn because it's a whole process.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
One of my names, Mama Yvonne, is the reading Ras. That is what I call myself, and I
Okay.
like to ask my guests, what books would you recommend? A young Rastafari sister coming up in the chart. What were some of the books that you can remember that had an impact, and that you could recommend?
We had first. I start out with the philosophy and opinion of Marcus Garvey,
Natural, natural.
and then there's this speeches of His Majesty.
Yes, yes.
Um, Oh Lord, there's so much. I don't even can't remember some of them right now,
Yeah,
honestly.
no, those two are fundamental. You know, you name the most
Yes,
important stepping
yes, but
stones.
I know stepping stone, and then we start get other books. People start bringing other books, read other Black history books.
Yes. Did you ever
Mhm.
study Kemet or Egypt?
Yeah, not really study, but I've read
Yeah,
the
some
Book of
things.
the Dead, the book of, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
because I want our readers to know that in the early movement, reading was still very fundamental.
It was very important to us to read and get, and we still didn't have books available like what we have now,
Hmm.
where you can say you go and get some other history books. We didn't have it available. So if one person have a book, that book have to share right round
Okay. So you would trade books amongst each other.
and borrow. Yes, yes,
Borrow
yes,
books. Yes, that culture is a fading culture. That's why you see my shirt here. I have my logos, the reading Rasa read a book
okay.
because
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
very passionate about reading, because
Yes, we used to read a lot. The newspaper, we just read everything. We'd cut out. At one point, I had a scrapbook. So
okay,
everything I read from the newspaper could have, which is of importance to me, would
yes.
cut it out, paste it, and have it, and can go back and look at it.
And I know in them times a lot of people were matching up prophecy and the history in the
Yes,
news and
yeah. Mhm.
yes, yes. We have some guests here in the chat. We have Empress
Okay.
Divine said, "Job blessings, Queen." Um,
Okay.
Divine, and please put where you're sounding in from. And we have S. Farelli, who said, "The world's great man of color," and other books by
Oh,
J. A.
yes, the red.
Rogers.
Yes, I remember that, having that book, the red. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, I
Can't forget J.
remember.
A. Rogers as a Jamaican too. You know,
Yes,
um,
yeah.
we have to big up J. A. Rogers, who also was awarded by His Majesty
Yes,
with
yes, yes,
this
yes,
Bright
yes.
Trust. So
I remembered. Hmm.
yes, so beautiful, beautiful. So have you always lived in Kingston?
No, in the 70s, we decided that I didn't want to grow my children in Kingston. And I left Kingston and went to live in St. James,
Okay,
where we lease a piece of land and said that we'd build our house there and have our children grow up in the hills because we want to be self-reliant, want to
okay,
plant and eat what we grow. And, and yes, and and that is how we went to Montego Bay, St. James up in the hills in Maroon Town. I didn't know country that well. I didn't know. I was a Kingstonian. So
yes,
when up in the hills, so that you want to farm, we didn't know. I didn't know difference between a banana tree and a planting. And I
oh,
learned all of that because it was in Kingston.
yes,
And we started to plant our own food and eat. When we say we don't want to eat anything from Babylon, because at the time we said that all
yes.
this food thing, we can't make Babylon control us. So we'd plant corn, and we went and bought a corn mill and make our own cornmeal
Wow,
and make our own cassava flour. Would dry green bananas, planting and make banana flour,
wow,
breadfruit flour. We started the whole gluten free, but not calling it gluten free
okay,
because we
wow.
was doing all these experimental with our food, right? Because we said we're not going to eat no flour, nothing from Babylon.
Can you shift a little
So
bit? Your face is off of the screen there.
yeah,
Yes, yes, sorry.
Yeah.
So is that where the master chef part of your life, because you're known as a master chef, and if anyone has not eaten at Ashanti or any, many restaurants that Mama Yvonne has had and or catering, she is a master. It's delicious is the term what Africa use, to
Oh,
describe
yes.
the cuisine. When did that arise?
In the 70s, because having children, no, and you're not buying anything from the shop because we burn out shop. We
God,
have to be creative. So we would make our own veggie patty there, make our own milk,
yes.
make our own, would get the rice in the shell and
Okay.
beat it out and make our own brown rice, like get it in the dawn, they would call it. The trash there, beat it out, and then use it, get the rice from out the trash and cook, would not buy anything from shop. So,
Wow.
in that time, you have to be creative. We have to be creative. We have to learn to bake. We have to learn to make burgers. We have to learn to make everything, because when you have children now and you don't want to go to school or go out on the road and want anything from anybody, you have to make your own pudding, your own cake, everything we do from scratch.
Wow, wow. And you were not,
We
so
didn't
you
have
were
so
not
much.
you were not coming
We
out of
didn't.
the hills, you just were up in the hills at that time. How long did you stay up in the hills?
I
That
think
that part of the trad.
about 13 years, 10, 13
Wow.
years.
So it's completely up. And was Mutabaruka world known at this time, or that was
No,
before the
before.
fame? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, wow,
So
wow.
we just, you know, it was good.
Yes, I can
We don't
imagine.
drink pipe water. We have the river run through the land. It was
Wow.
just great.
I've often said that in Rastafari, we need to have a rites of passage program that involves the young people having to live in the hills and learn all of these things that you're talking about, learn how to build a house, learn how to build a fire, like a whole kind of
Yes, because when I
summer
went
camp.
there, I didn't even know how to build a wood fire. I didn't know. I and even when I was there, sometimes I would cry because I said, "Oh gosh, I can't manage this. I can do everything else, but I can't build a wood fire."
Yes. And you
But
finally learn.
eventually, yes, yes, yes.
Wow.
And you're able to fork up land, chop, chop out land. At
Yes.
one point, we had a number of other profile used to be up there with us at one time. Would
Okay.
have,
Bless up profile.
mhm, it was a whole community,
Wow.
and it was just joyful.
Wow. Wow. I wish. Is there any footage of that time?
Mhm. I wasn't thinking that.
Yeah, and you see, I could only imagine these are the things that we have to, and this is why it's so important that you talk about it, because young people wouldn't know that Rastafari were going up in the hills, creating communities and living
Yes,
without violence or problems.
because even out of the whole vegan thing, it was
Yes,
ITAL that came. ITAL was for vegan.
of course.
And a lot of the hippies of the 60s and thing would come to Montego Bay Negril amongst Rasta in the hills to see how them live, how they eat. I remember going to visit a brethren, because we, from time to time, would go and visit different Rasta community. And I went up in a place in Cascade in Hanover. And
Wow.
when I went up there, I see all these white people up in the hills. And I said, oh my gosh, what is all these white people? So we was burning them out. And the dread them that was there was teaching them how to eat ital and how
Oh,
to cook ital.
okay. I've always
And
thought that, but you're the first person that confirmed it to I because I've
So
always said
it's
it, you know. But
so
okay,
he said that Negril. So a lot of them, it was near Negril. So the hippie them would go up, learn how the whole vegetarian ital thing work. And then I remember in the 80s or sometime, I went to Florida because now we're evolving. So I wanted to open a health store.
yes,
And when I went to the a place, it was called Organic or something. I think it's now Whole Food or something. It
yes,
just started.
yes.
See, I'm white man there. And I said, wait, I remember this man.
Mm-hmm.
And on my investigation, he was the owner of that business. And he was one of the white person that was up in the hill learning how to eat
Okay,
healthy. And I think this is my theory is they take back that information and capitalize off it. So now we have vegan, organic, um, different type of vegetarian,
yes,
which us as Rasta you had eating raw food, the preparing of meal in a certain way. I remember some brethren never used to cook. They would cook underneath the earth, put the food
okay,
under the ground and bake it
okay,
or steam it or whatever.
okay,
And then now you see these people come and making it look like say, oh, this whole organic thing and this
yes. But
vegan thing.
yeah, we were doing it first. And I feel like
Yes,
Steve Jobs came down there and thief the sound iPhone, you know. I feel is I and I am take that sound there from, you know. Because Steve
good.
Jobs was a hippie. He was a hippie, you know.
I remember doing an interview, as I say, iPhone, when iPhone just came in. And for on Al Jazeera, I was doing it and I was talking about, of Al Jazeera, right? I
Yes,
was talking about the I consciousness, I within me, and
yes,
I and I. And then
yes,
that same iPhone thing came up. The interview said, oh, about, was talking about I, the liberty, and, I just
yes.
remember that.
Well, I'm glad you said that because you were joking halfway when you said the Muta meet the great Yvonne, but you are great because you're internationally renowned. You have done interviews. People from all over the world. You've catered for the highest of dignitaries. How do you manage, all of the success that you've had coming from that humble beginning? What has that been like for you?
Well, I
Navigating.
don't sit, I just live and do what I have to do. I don't focus my energy on, you know, I just live. And I love when people eat my food and they're happy.
Yes.
And
You
what
put,
I can do to help in any community or anyone who need food. I remember I was at my restaurant, at a restaurant in Hope Gardens,
yes.
and
That's where I
this
ate at the
girl,
restaurant at Hope
this
Gardens.
woman, Shani O'Connor, I don't know if you heard of her, you know
No.
of her, right?
Sinead O'Connor. Yes,
And
yes, yes, yes,
she
yes.
came into the restaurant and sitting outside, and I see this little woman sitting there, and I said, "Oh gosh, she look hungry." So at the time, I went over to her and said, "Would you like some food?"
Uh-huh.
And then a sister came up to me and said, "Yvonne, you always do this thing. You know, who is that?" I said, "No, but she just look hungry." And I invited her in and gave her some food and she was happy.
Yes. I remember the location at Hope Gardens. It was so beautiful. And I ate at another location you had there as well. So
Raymond, yeah.
yes, yes. How did you reach Hope Gardens? What was that like? And why did you choose Hope Gardens?
Well, I was going to Oak Gardens. I used to go there sometime from time to time, just in the garden. And I saw this place lock up. And I said, gee, this would be nice for a restaurant because nobody wanted it because I think people would vandalize it, go in and
Yes,
rob
yes.
or whatever. So I said, let me try. And I went to the people and asked them if they would rent it. And they said they would have to think about it. And then when they thought about it, they decided that, okay, they're going to put it up for bidding. And when they put it up for bidding, I sent in my proposal, and myself and a white woman who went up, and
Yes.
she got it over me. And then after she got it, I said, look how I was the one that asked them to rent it and do it and then just give it to her. So I said, okay. So I'm at home one day, and they said that the lady called and said she don't think it would work out for her having a restaurant there, because at the back there was a ghetto community at the back. And
Oh,
she figured that they might come and rob the place at night. So I said, all right, let me try. So I tell them now, after that, no, I tell them that if they could give me the place at a peppercorn rental to
yes,
see, for me to try and see. And it went well
yes,
until we had a hurricane. And I went in there. People, when the hurricane, I don't remember which hurricane,
yes.
um, some man inside the restaurant and just me and the man in there. And I started to scream,
Mm-hmm.
and they stole out a lot of my stuff.
Oh,
And I
wow.
said, yeah.
I didn't know that story. I'm sorry to hear that. But what was the genesis of Ashanti, and why did you choose that name for the brand? Because that's a global brand. Or people
Yes,
who would visit.
I'm Ashanti.
Yes.
I'm Ashanti.
Okay.
So when I was going through names, and I said, I look like an Ashanti, and I just love the name and what it meant. And I just feel like energy from it. And I say, you know what? I went and call the restaurant Ashanti. Just
Ashanti.
like that.
Have you had a chance to travel to Africa?
Oh, yes, yes. I've been to Ghana, and
Okay.
I've been to Nigeria,
Okay.
and oh, yes,
What was the first place? What was your first trip to Africa like? What was that first touchdown?
it was very interesting. It was a concert that was having in Nigeria, and there was some African promoters wanted, some conscious artists to come. And I was with Muta at the time, and we went. They invited him, and I went as a chef. And it was interesting. It reminded very much of Jamaica.
Yes.
The men was very aggressive, like Jamaican men, some of them.
Nigeria,
Um,
yeah, man.
yes, and I learned a lot. I spent about 2 months there, and the promoters were very deceitful.
Okay.
Um, they organized the show, and then when we was there, they decided that the ticket that we had to come back to Jamaica was, they pulled the leg, cashed the money, and we could leave.
Wow.
And they wanted to keep doing show that they could earn back money. And it was good because I learned a lot being
Yes.
there. But at the same time, it was inconvenient because when you wanted to leave, you couldn't get to leave.
Wow. So how did you finally get the chance to leave?
Well, my sister sent me a ticket,
Okay.
and
Family.
I left. And then after we came over to New York, we organized the rest for the rest of people to come.
Okay. So it was a real thing. Because that was the wild, wild west of reggae shows and things
Yeah,
at
that
that
was,
time.
yeah.
There wasn't the infrastructure. What about Ghana? When was the first time you went to Ghana?
Okay, when I went, Um, a friend of mine, a sister friend of mine was there living. She went down there with Sister Minnie. She got sick, and she and I was very close. And she asked me to come and take her because she couldn't manage to travel by herself.
Okay.
So while I was there, I get to go around and see the place, and I
That
like
was Sister
Ghana.
Minnie. Sister Minnie.
No, she went with Sister Minnie. This is Sister P. Maureen Rowe.
Okay, I don't know her. I met Sister Minnie in Ghana, but I don't know the other sister.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then, well, you like Ghana though? You liked it?
Yes, I liked it. It's more calm.
Yes. Nigeria. Nigeria has a lot to
Nigeria
take
is
it.
rough.
It's
Yes.
rough. Yeah, man. It's Kingston times 10.
Oh, Lord. Hmm.
I'm not going to keep you too much longer. I really give thanks for you taking the time. I know your throat is giving you some trouble there, but I want to say before we go any further, I want to give you your flowers in terms of what you mean to the community and to the faithful. There are so many young people. Anytime your name is like people eye get bright when you use your name, and
Really?
that speaks to the legacy that you have left. There's so much love that you've
Yeah.
managed to engender among the younger generation. You never, even though you're fiery, you'd never burn out. You never make the young people feel like they couldn't be around the eye. And
Yeah.
I really admire the eye. How the eye move and still so giving to the community. What is that? Why after all of this time are you still? Because you said a lot of your contemporaries have left the trad or gone, but why have you chosen to remain so
Because
firm?
that's because this is my trod,
Okay,
and this is my way of life. I don't know anything else. This is me.
that is you. Do you attribute some of that to taking that 10, 13 years in the hills and that groundation
That
that you
was
had?
a strength. That was a strength that
Hmm.
strengthened me. But my conviction, you know, and the love for Rastafari,
Yes,
that is what keep me going.
that is what keep you going. I really give time, and you're still catering now, right?
Yes, I still do some catering.
How do
Um,
people get in touch with you if they want to book you for an event, or I want to make sure that you know we can provide some value. If anybody need your services, how would they get in touch with
Well,
you?
they can call me at 876-458-9859.
Beautiful,
And that's
beautiful,
Sister Yvonne.
Sister Yvonne, and just give us a final, for the younger generation, for the young Rastafari sister. I have sisters that watch from Mauritius off of the
What?
coast of Africa. I say I have sisters that watch from Mauritius off of the coast of Africa. I have a global audience, and a lot of them are seeking and they love when I bring on elder Rastafari women. What
Mhm.
words would you share with a young woman of today who is seeking to trad Rastafari and wants to, you know, you know, build on the path that you have laid, the foundation that you have laid.
Be respectful. Be respectful of others. Um, just love and the love for Selassie. Just love, and a lot of things will keep you.
Um, One thing that just popped into my mind before we go: how important in this modern world is the dress code? You talk about you wrap your head, you wear the long skirts. A lot of the younger Rastafari women nowadays are rebelling. They're wearing pants and wear tight things. How important is that
I
part?
I don't adjust to it. I don't adjust to it. Although it might be around me,
Yes,
I personally don't adjust to it. I don't
Yes.
like it.
Yes, yes. So you would share to those young sisters to wear the long skirts. You would encourage them and to cover their covenant.
Yes, but no, they don't want to. They're not into that.
Yes,
They're
yes.
not into it.
But I
They're
just
saying
want them
it's
to,
modern time.
yes, I just want them to hear it from an elder sister though. I want
It make wearing my dress long, it make me feel modest. It make me feel good.
yes.
And I just love it. It's a part of me.
Yes. And doesn't it change how people interact with you out on the road?
Yes, yes, yes. I find that the respect you get out there, when some of those brethren see them, they
Yes.
know that you're not playing.
And I just interviewed daughter Shelley from the Nyabing Girls. And she said that when she was a young girl, she used to see Sister Mitzi and others walking through Mandeville in their long skirt and head wrap, and the impression that it had on her as a young
Yes.
girl growing up. So
Yeah,
the young people watch as well to see that royal dignity, and you look like a
yeah,
queen. And what I noticed when I went to Africa, I couldn't tell who was a Rastafari sister because the African women were dressing that way. They had the
yes,
head wrap,
yes.
the long skirts, and I said, okay, this is really our tradition for
Mhm.
real. It's not just we do a thing in the West. This is really
Yeah,
rooted. So
yeah, man.
go ahead.
I know I love to see it. I love to see it. But
Uh,
the young people that don't think like me,
no, no, but I want them to hear from the eye because I think there will come a time where your words will sink in, and it means a lot to hear it. I'm a brethren. I can't really say too much in that area, but I give thanks. So give thanks, Mama Yvonne. I kept you
yes,
for an
I'm so
hour.
sorry that my throat, I just do a procedure and my
Yes,
voice
because we we,
box is
we
damaged.
just scratch the surface. We don't touch the, because I know interact with Bob Marley, all kind of thing. Where there's so much stories you could have tell, but tonight is not the night. We'll bring you
We
forward
can do it
again.
another, yeah,
Yes,
okay.
another time.
Because I'm not feeling 100% tonight.
Yes, and I told the audience that
Yeah,
how blessed we were to have you tonight.
yeah.
So I want to just thank you and say, please get better. You're a international treasure. We love you. We have been blessed by your love and the work that you have done. And their words cannot describe, you know, how important you are. And your work is etched into the book of life. The history will write their name in terms of the history of this trad and this movement. So I just want to say how honored we are and salute you. Give thanks,
Give
Mama
thanks.
Ivan.
Okay. All right. One love, Rastafari.
Rastafari. Blessings.
Okay.
So, family, you saw it there. We had legendary Rastafari matriarch, Mama Yvonne Hope, Queen Yvonne Hope, who is doing such powerful work and continues to do powerful work as she seated in her eldership. Um, Let me know what you want to do, family. We can end the live. If you have any questions, you can put your questions in the chat. My heart is full because them elders there, these are the elders that embrace I when I, doing works in Jamaica, on the ground, battlefield. These are the elders that hug you up and make sure that your mission is successful, make sure that you have what you need contacts. There's been time Mama Ivan get me on the Muta Baruka radio show, one phone call, these things, and just open arms and really, I can't say enough about our elders. So again, if you have any questions, Empress Divine say, I have eaten at Ashanti and the food is exquisite. So yeah, man, if you have not had Mama Yvonne food, you're missing out. It's really excellent. Family, we have a lot. Before I sign off, I just want to bring everyone up to speed. The Ras Tafari Mansion and Organization, the RMO, just had its first event, the Harambe Hall in Jamaica. This Saturday, we're going to bring some exclusive footage. The Harambe Hall was conceived as a farmer's market. It's a town hall meeting. It's, activities throughout the day, health tent, it's basically a Rastafari expo. And it's going to be a monthly event taking place in Jamaica. The houses and mansions are coming together to put on this event. Again, we're going to have exclusive footage on Saturday from our first Harambe Hall. Very excited about that. We are flooding the algorithm with Rastafari women for the month of March. We have more interviews coming on the way, big interviews with our Rastafari females from all sides and all tribes. Really, leading up to Empress Menen, we're going to try to do something special for Empress Menen Earth Strong, April 3rd or April 4th. So stay tuned, working on something special to celebrate the Earth Strong for Empress Menen on the platform. But again, family, we are doing all that we can here on the Lion Voice Network. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the platform. You see the quality interviews that we are bringing. We are bringing people who typically are not easily accessible, but these are the giants within our faith in terms of the work. These are the ones who are shouldering, who are keeping the integrity of Rastafari no matter what is happening around the world. And we are committed. Also, Miami family, make sure you report. Lalabella Institute is keeping Roots and Reasoning, the 3rd edition. Dr. Walete, one of our Lion Pride and Patreon family, will be doing a presentation on her latest book. And the Roots and Reasoning, very Isla. I had an episode, and I'm going to be doing a special episode where I bring some of that footage to bear. So make sure that you tune in. If you're in Miami family, I put the flyer on the clip that we released today. So we are building. Make sure you spread the word because the time has come for the Lions to tell our own story. And this is the Lion Voice.
The time has come for the lioness to tell her story from her viewpoint and tell the world who Queen Omega is. This is the Lion's Voice.
The time has come for the lioness to tell her own story.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice.
Well, Haile Selassie the First of the Almighty, and this is the Chance Match Kwasi, and the mission, that's the restoration of the black family. Yeah. Who ja bless me, say no one curse. Black woman, it's time to merge. Black redemption, we're on the verge. Well, I don't care what you heard. Haile Selassie first, him no second or third. Cause even when their lines are blurred, the eyes stand straight, no bend, no curve. And
Him give you the love you deserve. Him don't come fi dominate, him come fi serve. Showed us the way home, I live his words, but I can't do it alone, so black woman, let's merge. High tall, sip and herbs, we merge. Massage fi calm her nerves, we merge. Together all demon purge, we merge. Another family emerge, we merge. We spoke and no speech was slurred, we merge. We agreed that Babylon's absurd, we merge. We had pain, now we feel cured, we merge. Hail the king, now she conquered. Well, I don't care what you heard. Haile Selassie first, him no second or third. Cause even when their lines are blurred, the eyes stand straight, no bend, no curve.